Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. So it's a little warmer today. The sun's cutting through a little bit more. There's a haze, but no clouds. Well, I guess too many clouds yesterday. It's going to warm back up. But the funny part is, I said something that I purchased the bike 2 months earlier. That's just kind of, I threw that out there. But if you look at the weather report, and I have to look at the exact date I purchased the vehicle, or the bike, the bicycle. But it looks like the weather's not going to finally cool till 2 months after I purchased it. And I expected that it was going to cool early because that's what the reports were saying. And then it changed. But we'll see. It could change back. What I think's happening is we're not getting the rain. I mean, we're getting rain, but this is a rainy season, you know. All right, so it's probably allowing the temperatures to go up higher. Now, there's a part of this, though. Again, rain brings clouds, and that cools, you know. Right. And then the rain itself, and cold front, that kind of thing. Right. But as a part of this, so what do I think's happening, partially at least, for global warming? If you remember years ago, they said the ozone layer was depleting. And what was depleting it and all that, I think, was what we call pollution. So that pollution blocked the effects of the ozone layer being depleted. So as we clean the air, that haze up there, the pollution is decreasing, which is healthy for things such as, lung cancer and other things. And people that do have diminished lung capacity, it's better for them, that kind of thing. Speaking of diminished, go to pollen.com and look at the pollen map. It's like deep red all across the nation, just about. Like the fringes, near the coasts, it's kind of a little better, right? Up in the mountains, maybe a little bit, because it's cooling faster than it is here. Okay. But again, it's probably going to drop here. If it goes up in the 90s, it might drop. Right? But the evenings are starting to cool a little bit, so that could be bringing it too. Like cooling and heating. But what happened is, as they're reducing the pollution, that haze is disappearing. Now we're feeling the effects of the ozone layer being depleted for all those years, because now the pollution's missing. So again, that would be another one to figure out, how I have to restudy all that, because I haven't studied the ozone layer for a long time, and only briefly studied it. So theoretically, if that's what it is, or part of it is, we have to figure out how to replace the ozone layer if we can. Now, just don't throw out, well, if we do what we're doing in climate change, no. Because you've been doing what you've been doing, and it's not helping. It's actually getting hotter, faster. The cleaner we make the air, the faster it heats up. So again, something's off. Well, they would say, oh, the ozone layer is depleting. Everybody's like, what? What's that mean? I never felt anything because the pollution blocked the increase in the sun. Well, there might be a time where we want to stop and regroup, and maybe change a little something before we clean the air some more. Like make it more stringent, the requirements. because we're actually heating up the earth by making the air cleaner. Well, we have to balance. It's again like in surgery, you know, they balance different things. You know, don't just go at it, and you know, suture here, a little suction there. So we have to figure out what the proper methods are to get it to clean the air, to possibly reduce greenhouse gases, if it even has an effect on that. Well, heat is very important. And when they had some of this proved that it was heating up from underneath. Right. There were hot spots on the earth. Now, I agree that could come from fracking and things like that. What happens when you stoke a fire? Heats up, right? They're saying the magma, first the idea was the magma heating up, and I think it did it a little bit, but not enough to make such a difference, I think. I have to go back through that. And they have to be careful because the oil companies are going to pay money to screw up all the data, but that doesn't mean the climate science or the climate science people aren't doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're skewing the data to, you know, make money. So they're all trying to make money off this thing, and they're not getting anywhere. So if one of the theories would be if the magma stay in the same temperature, but the surface is getting hotter, you know, if you ventilate the magma, it's gonna. So again, all that fracking and drilling and, you know, the Earth's plates shifting and all that could cause that increased surface heat from the magma while it stays the same temperature. And again, that would be like the theory for geothermal ventilation, where you bring the heat to the surface. You could actually heat buildings with it and things like that. You just have to have a regulator. That's another science that they're trying to defeat because it doesn't make corporations money. I guess it could. You could actually gauge the use of your geothermal heat and then charge people for that. Well, you know, you just have to drill down, get a shaft of hot air or something like that. And you come up with some meter to calculate all that. Oh, I didn't take a picture of this truck. Here's the one with the truck. But it says Silver Star Transportation or something like that. And it's Arlington, Texas. But, you know, Marshal Service headquarters in Arlington. So yesterday I was wondering whose truck that was. I was going to take a photo of the thing and put it online. Pretty funny. But, you know, of course, Arlington, Virginia, not all. So we're in that allergy season. I usually take like 3 COVID tests during allergy season, you know. I pulled out the COVID test. So that's kind of going to throw a little bit of stuff off. People are going to think they have COVID when it's allergies. Unless they know to just take a test at home instead of running to the doctor. They still have to, I guess they have to research, make sure the tests are working with the new variety. This guy's blowing like dust over here. They're doing a lot of groundskeeping right now. He steam cleaned everything. So he wasn't using the thing that they do. It looked like, because it was such a light stream of mist, I thought he was just washing the railings off with it looked like it was a backpack, but it wasn't. He's up on the second deck, so he was actually using a steam clean. Not a steam cleaner. What do they call that thing? Clean your patios with it. A pressure washer. That's it. What up? How you doing? Contractors here refinishing a couple rooms, or a room. I guess you'll have another one to do or something. So I guess yeah, it really does require some reinspection of the whole theory of global warming and how to reverse it. You could say that it's going to reduce the the wear on the ozone layer, etc. But if it brings it to 200 degrees doing it, it's not going to work. Well, there's probably something we can do to fix the ozone layer. There's probably something we can do to put a healthy pollution in the air per se. That has a haze property to it. You could probably even figure something out that's even a very light haze up there that has a higher property of blocking those rays. Like rich people really don't care because they just move around, based upon where the best temperature is. And if you have a big fire, they'll just go there and swim a mile or two north of it. So it is what it is. Yeah, I didn't change my sheets last night. I probably should have. It's all that heavy pollen. Got to speed up changing the sheets. During allergy season, you should change your sheets twice as fast. Right. Even if you don't have allergy, you still have that pollen in there and it still affects you. Everybody has allergy to a certain degree. Right. Meaning that you're going to, during that season, you're going to suffer something, whether even it's just tiredness or something like that. So it's good to minimize. And that's what a lot of the tiredness could come from disrupted sleep by having pollen and stuff on your thingy wingies. It's like grass pollen too. No, he's still over here. And that's what it could be from too. He's blowing that stuff all over the place, and probably blew it up underneath my door. Actually, when this is a trick, bring some duct tape with you when you check in to an extended stay or a hotel, and take that duct tape and run about 7 strips of it across the bottom. So it's you can even make it so it's like like an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch. Actually, 1/8 inch probably too far down. I have to up this breath. And then you'll have one like a sweep underneath it, because the doors don't fit well usually. I mean, sometimes they do. And if you're on an indoor one, it's a little better. So, but if you have a hotel room that opens to the outside, and then just I don't do this all the time, but I do this. I put that strip every time I move into a room or something, or get to a room. I take that strip and I put it at the base of the door so that nothing can come in. Because he was blowing yesterday against it, I could hear that. So a lot of these rooms probably had dust blown into them. I imagine maybe some got into mine. I don't know. But he did a good job cleaning. I mean, it's great. He did great. It looks like almost a new hotel. Not really, but kind of compared to what it was. But so take that duct tape, or even you can even use for the side door. You could use masking tape if you wanted to. I use blue masking tape sometimes because that duct tape can be irritating. Really does seal it almost too good. Right. So, but seal your door and just you'll sleep better. Especially like if you turn your fan on in your bathroom, it'll bring that air. If your door's not sealed, it's going to bring that air in from the outside. Right. And if you got any allergies, it's gonna plus dust and dander and everything else. People definitely have an effect of dust and dander, regardless of whether they have pollen allergies or not. Just bring a roll of duct tape and tape the door shut. It's better air, and then sound sometimes. Like even if you have an indoor, I had an indoor room, and it would get loud sometimes because the door wasn't sealed. So I'd seal it, and that noise would cut down. It's getting a little warm today. I don't know why. It's sun. I mean, it's sun. I mean, I know why, but because I'm in the shade here and it's nice and cool. Okay. So the sun's pretty much heating us up. I mean, I know it sounds kind of basic idea, but something's wrong with it. Right. The difference between the shade. Okay, so go back through history, and hopefully you have accurate readings. Look at the difference between shade and in the sun readings. I think they actually give that now on like AccuWeather or something. On AccuWeather or something. I'm sitting here broadcasting. I didn't know the Johnson County car was here. Let me get out of this guy's way. Well, people get paranoid. They see somebody with a headset on, carrying a cross and with a phone on it. Crucifying my phone. Now I built this thing to put my phone on. I now have a belt. I used to have a smaller interface, and I'd put it on the cross and all that. And I even could probably put this on the cross, and just something to hang all my gear on. And it's like padded at the bottom, like I made a handle out of duct tape, that kind of thing. So it's nice. It's real nice. And but one day I realized it was a crucifix. I was walking around carrying a cross. It just like came into view. I was like working on it, and all of a sudden, that's a crucifix, Larry. I'll actually go back in a second here. I guess this guy's not moving. I was thinking he was going to move. So that would be something to look at too. If we're seeing an increase between the difference between in the shade and out of the shade in the sun, and the felt property is that. So if there's not a difference temperature wise, then it's something else, that becomes even weirder. Right? Because people feel it. You speak to people that are like 35 and older, and they know. They say, yeah, the sun's way different. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.